Well, Parmeshwar, what we do have at this juncture are exclusive details on the escape, in a sense, from Kabul. It's been a very harrowing 48 hours for Indian mission personnel at the embassy in Kabul, and we can now share with you some details which we had earlier, but we were not allowed to actually report because of the security situation on the ground. Now, the details that we have are that, firstly, there were 2 Indian Air Force C-17 transports which had flown in on the 15th of August. These were meant to actually fly out Indian diplomatic personnel and members of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police who defend the mission. But the security situation started deteriorating quite quickly, and overnight between the 15th and the 16th of August, no evacuations were actually possible. People were not able to get from the embassy to the airport. At the same time, what did take place is that the Taliban came into the green zone. This is the high security zone of Kabul. The Indian embassy was under observation. The green zone had been breached, and simultaneously, and this was a cause of major concern, Taliban soldiers raided the Shaheen Visa Agency, which processes visas for Afghans looking to travel to India. Now, obviously, this is not a part of the embassy per se, but it is a separate agency which looks after this very critical process. And therefore, there was a security assessment which was done to actually look at what the larger issue in terms of security would be. That said, yesterday, on the 16th, there was a small group of approximately 45 Indian nationals who tried to get from the embassy to the airport. They were successful, but it was very, very difficult. Their vehicles were stopped, some of their personal belongings were taken away from them. They did manage to get into the airport, and they did manage to evacuate on the 1st Indian Air Force C-17. But that evacuation was extremely difficult given the chaos in Kabul airport, on the tarmac, with thousands of people literally trying to get onto any one of those planes. So this C-17 somehow managed to take off. It was one of the aircraft which did take off yesterday. Now, therefore, you had approximately 140 odd, and the numbers are still not completely certain at this stage, who were stuck in the embassy, including the ambassador, Rudrendra Tandon. So how exactly would they get out of Kabul? Now, overnight, there's been a conversation between our foreign minister and the US Secretary of State, and to try and figure out possibly a way, which the Indian embassy was also looking at, of getting our mission personnel into the airport. What simultaneously started happening is that there were roadblocks all along the way. So a straight drive would have been very difficult. However, and we don't know exactly how they managed, there was an opening, and they were able to get there this morning. And along with a couple of Indian journalists, they were able to evacuate from Kabul. They're out of Afghan airspace. That aircraft, C-17, the second one, is either landing now in New Delhi, or it may have landed just a little while earlier on. But the big point is that our Indian personnel have evacuated from Afghanistan safely in what has been a very harrowing 48 hours or so.
Thank you so much, Vishnu, for sharing those exclusive details with us. A harrowing experience indeed, but a sort of silver lining that they will be back on Indian soil safely soon enough.